Every year, Americans produce approximately 34.8 million tons of plastic.
However, this plastic does not simply disappear, but rather it ends up in the stomachs of over 90% of seabirds.
As PQ, we discover that the main issue behind all of this is the United States' negligence and blatantly lazy consumption and disposal of plastic products. Our team will be focused on the United States, in particular due to its less refined ways of handling its plastic consumption.
We believe that this can be confronted by an education exhibit that emotionally resonates with younger audiences and informs them in a way that is understandable. When our group first assembled, we all agreed that plastic pollution itself was a major issue and that we needed to model our whole product confronting solving it. After reading Reuse, Reduce, Replace, a study on solutions to plastic waste, our general mindset began to shift.
This book gave us a more profound understanding of the issue. Instead of simply identifying plastic pollution as a problem in its own, we began to label the ignorance behind it as something in need of addressing.
We learned that 40% of Americans thought plastic was biodegradable, and we also found that most people in foreign countries are encouraged to educate themselves on plastic pollution and recycling programs, since they have to be able to sort out their recyclables by themselves, as if they don't do this, they will be fined.
This made us realize that our product unit had the potential to teach, which led us to contacting Discovery Place and presenting them with our project.
Meeting with Charlotte Fields was the final piece we needed to identify the problem in its entirety. When we presented our problem statement to her, she strongly suggested that the issue was instead laziness. Americans were not misinformed, they were simply under-encouraged.
Ms. Fields' idea that laziness is a major factor to America's plastic crisis starts to take place in our project when we start conducting polls on the UNCC campus. Two questions that we saw were really important from our poll would be, do you separate items when recycling? And the majority, which was 64.6%, said no, that they place all recyclable items into one bin rather than separating them by plastic types. And we compared this to another question that, do you consider plastic pollution to be a serious threat to the human race? And the majority said yes, that plastic pollution is a threat to the human race, but it seems like us as individuals, like Americans, we're not doing what our part into making plastic pollution less impactful.
And this makes me confident that we're identifying the right problem, because if the issue was just ignorance on its own, like we previously thought, then I feel like it would have solved itself when Americans became aware of plastic's environmental repercussions. But as expressed in the poll, Americans are aware of it. They do consider it to be a threat. It's just simply that they're not doing anything to alter their behavior, which to me seems like more of an issue of laziness.
This is why we need to gear our products towards children and encourage them to take action against poor plastic usage. We need facts regarding the effects of plastic to resonate with them, so they are more enticed to create more efficiency within recycling programs and change their individual behavior.
After speaking with Charlotte, we focused more on the educational aspect as well as how to implement the machine in a way that resonates with children. For example, she suggested that the exhibit be manned by a Discovery Place worker, as those exhibits get a lot more attention and engagement than others.
Our process to our solution will be taken in 3 large steps. The first step would include a water bottle drive, where we would collect plastic bottles to work with, experiment on, and eventually would end up in our final product. The second step would be the actual building and creation of our machine. For the machine, we plan to build it by ourselves, hoping that we do not have to resort to having to get it built by someone else, as that would drive up the cost by a great bit. We plan to make the machine body out of aluminum with gears and levers coming from things that have already been disposed of. For example, the gears can be sourced from junked bikes, as the rear cast of most bikes have a wide range of gears. And the final and third step would be child safety and implementation. Child safety is our main priority, as implementation of our machine into Discovery Place becomes a liability for both us and as well as them. So we designed the machine to have as little moving parts as possible, as well as making it so that kids are able to interact with the machine without running the risk of them getting hurt. When introducing our product to Discovery, we would also want it to include activities or lessons that kids can create emotional tie and meaning to.